Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Class to Go featuring the Warm Welcome Bundle. So, here is the stamp set that we're going to be working with today, and it is not in either of the current printed catalogs. This was a pre release in September. I think it was September, early October, and is in the upcoming mini catalog. And we have some news around that mini catalog that we're going to talk about in just a second. So this week I have featured two different blog posts already with this bundle and some other products. And then today we have 3 different cards featuring this bundle as well. So I am going to go ahead and switch the camera down. Although I'm having a really good hair day, but y'all didn't come here to see my hair. So if I can figure out what I've done there. Okay. I think this one is the one I want. Absolutely it is. All right, so here is our stamp set that we are working with today. And I have my dies stored inside on this little magnetic sheet that I get from Stampin' Storage. And I just want to point out how many of the dies that coordinate, that cut out the images you see here. So here is the large door here. There's also a door panel and a just a rectangle cutout that cuts out like the inside of this door. Then we have this little stitched rectangle. We have 2 small circles. I've used those for doorknobs. Then we have these 2, I want to call them a plate if you're thinking in terms of a door. Then a door knob plate thing. Then this cuts out the cake that you see here. This cuts out the cat. This cuts out the shoes. This cuts out the little flowers. Here we are cutting out, this one cuts out the little hands here. Then we have the numbers. We have a couple of different hearts. So lots of dies in this set, and many of them cut out the images that you see. In fact, I think all of the images actually have a coordinating die cut, right? Yeah, so all 6 of the images have a coordinating die cut, and then the set itself is a photopolymer set, and I've got one of these already on a Stamparatus, 2 of these on a Stamparatus, and one of them already on a block for us to use today. So let's take a look at our cards, and I hope I am where I think I am. Let me make sure that Wi-Fi, okay, that looks right. All right, so let me pull out the cards. So this is the card that I featured on Monday. So let me spotlight a couple of things about it. So I paired it with the Santa Express Suite, the Santa's Delivery stamp set, Santa's Train dies. I think that is how that goes. This greeting is from the Santa, we're just going to call it the Santa, okay? The Santa bundle, the Santa whatever. The Santa, yeah. The wreath and the bow are both from the Santa, Santa Express, Santa Train, Santa's Delivery. I'm not entirely sure. I'm so sorry. The good news is in the new catalog, the stamp set, the bundle, and the dies are all going to have the same name. It's going to be so much easier. This tree is from that bundle, and so are these little presents. Now, the doorknob, and then this panel inside are from the Warm Welcome. And then, of course, the banner is from the Stylish Shapes, and the brick embossing folder is in the annual catalog. And then I used some Stampin' Blends and some Wink of Stella on this. So I used Real Red and Mint Macaron, And this you'll find on Monday's blog post. So at michellesalcho.com, which I just realized is no longer showing on my screen. I guess I need to do some work on that. But something that I thought added a lot of dimension was taking my blends and coloring in the panels. I really like the way that turned out. This tree is actually designed to go on top of the car of the train, and this actually has an extra little piece, a little flag, and I cut that little flag off. So I really like the way this turned out, and I hope that you all do as well. It's a dark inside. I didn't stamp on the inside, but I did put a white liner on it. So that was Monday. Now we'll just put it, I don't know, down here. I think you can still see. Then Tuesday's blog had the little Yeti. And guys, I'm telling you, okay, so Monsters Inc. I love, love, love the movie Monsters Inc. And this is just screaming Sully to me. And I can't wait to color it with Coastal Cabana. And then I'm not quite sure of the pink purple that I need to use with it. Maybe a couple different colors, but I'm going to color this little Yeti before too long. And I did use the Yeti dies. Now, you might remember a few months ago that we had some dies introduced that coordinated with stamp sets in the annual catalog and the mini catalog that didn't otherwise have dies, and this was one of them. I'll give you a hint that you may want to check out the clearance rack on the 1st, which I think is Thursday, because I think that those dies that we still have in stock, you may see them there. So grab those dies when they're available on the 1st, and I will try and do some posts to let you know once that's up and running. So here we have the door again from the Warm Welcome, the panel from the Warm Welcome. This is an oval punch. This is from Warm Welcome, this little panel. So here I've created some wainscoting with the panels. That's two that are, one is cut off, and then the designer series paper to create the wallpaper and the floor. So lots of fun there, and this was almost a direct copy from Bethany Barnard, her card. All right, so that's what we've done so far this week in our Warm Welcome week. And then today we are going to make these cards. Let's see what order. So this one I made in Fresh Freesia. The sample that I copied, that I cased this from, was actually done in Pool Party. But let's see if I can get this right. My son-in-law's sister is having a baby girl in the next few weeks, and I thought this would make a really sweet little baby card. So that is why I went with the Freesia for this sweet little baby girl. So we're going to make that one, and we're going to make this one. And it's kind of funny that I think this is the welcome baby card, but here this is clearly a welcome baby card with the little shoes down here at the bottom. That's actually how my daughter introduced Nolan, was with a photo of little shoes. And then this is our third card. So let's take a look at what's in the kit, and then we're going to make these cards. All right, so looking at what I'm calling card number 3, this is what you will get in your kit. So you'll have 2 envelopes for it. You'll have the 2 card bases. You'll have the brick, 2 pieces of the brick already embossed. You'll have 2 pieces of white for inside. The trees I pulled from a different bundle, so I've included those die cuts. And then you have the paper that you'll need to do the die cutting from the Warm Welcome bundle. So from gray granite, you're going to cut this welcome banner, the door, and the little number plate. And then from black, basic black, you're going to cut the the hanger, the door knocker, the doorknob, and your numbers. And then from basic white, you're going to cut your little cat. Okay, and there's a little more white than you need in here because you're going to need that on another card as well. So that is the kit with that one. And then let's take a look at the little welcome little one card. I love this combination of mint and vanilla. So here is the kit. So again, 2 envelopes because you make 2 each of these cards. So you'll have the 2 mint macaron card bases, 2 smoky slate layers, 2 vanilla layers for inside your card, 2 layers that have already been embossed with the wood grain. That's not the name of it, but that's what I'm going to call it. 2 pieces of designer series paper, the ribbon that you need to go around your card and then to tie the bows. Then you have the mint macaron and the vanilla for you to die cut the 2 panels here. So you'll cut 2 each of those. All right. So I am having a blast with these card kits every week, and you all seem to be watching and purchasing, so I very much appreciate that and take that as an indication that you are liking them as well. Now for the third card, which I think is actually the first card in my lineup, you have again the 2 envelopes. You have 2 thick white card bases. You have these pieces already die cut for your layer. You have 2 pieces of basic white that you'll layer the embossed fresh freesia on. You have the 2 circles. You have 2 of these. One of these gets cut out for each of the card. The ends stick out. And then the 2 little pieces here where you will do your stamping and you'll flag the ends. And then that white that was in the black in the envelope with this card has enough white for you to stamp and die cut your present. I called that a cake earlier, and it's a present image. Okay, so let's get started and make our cards. Now, but I have this out for a second, so I'm just going to jump in here. The mini catalog and the celebration catalog. I cannot show you images inside these catalogs just yet. I just want to tell you, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. This bundle, the Warm Welcome Bundle, appears in the mini catalog. This, remember, is an early release. And then celebration is January and February, so you get bonus stuff there. Now, I will be mailing the catalog and the celebration brochure to everyone that has placed an order with me in the last 6 months. And if you need a catalog mailed to you, then please reach out so that I can add you to that list. I have to finalize that list tomorrow. All right. That was a whole lot of talking. And let's get our supplies out. There's so many little pieces because I've already done my die cutting. I did that for today's cards. I don't always do that, but I did do it to speed things up today. So I've got my card base, and my card base is running, they're the same size, whether you fold it, cut it at 5.5 by 8.5 and score it at 4 1/4, or if you cut it half sheet of cardstock the other way and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. And you know what? I'm thinking that this looks a little dark today. I'd like to do a little bit more working on the lighting in here. So this piece is going to just layer right there. We're going to glue that down in just a second. And then these pieces are going to layer together. And you can do these whichever way you like the brick. Okay, that's all personal preference. Then here's the circle already cut and the present stack already cut. this is already cut, so we have this piece of stamping to do. And let's see what we're gonna, we stamped "It's Your Day" on this. So let me grab, these are templates that I use when I'm working with the Stamparatus. And here is "It's Your Day." Let me just swap those out. With the photopolymer stamps, they have a lot of give in them, so you want to pick them up rather than put them, if you put them on your block, you know, it'd be really easy for you to curve the stamp, but if you let it fall down and then pick it up with your block, then it will retain its shape. We're going to stamp this in Fresh Freesia. I have a really hard time saying that word. I hope that I actually am live. It's kind of odd that I'm not seeing any activity. Of course, it could be y'all are very busy. That happens too. Okay, now my internet over there wants to be not fun. All right, I'm just going to stamp this pretty much in the middle, left to right and top to bottom. That's a little high. So you can do a couple of things when that happens. Okay, where are we going here? And hopefully, I can actually trim this to be a little more narrow if I like. All right, I'm live there. I'm just not seeing comments. That could be the case too, that you're there, but I'm just not seeing your comments. I'm going to grab my punch. I am not very good at flagging the ends without my punch. And I'm going to grab my trimmer and even this up. Potentially, that's my goal, is to even this up a little bit. But with a piece this small, it can be iffy, which is why, you know, don't feel bad about just grabbing your scissors. That's fine too. Okay, now I might have gone too far the other way. Just keeping it real, people. And I'm going to trim off just a little bit on each side. And then that is going to be too long of a piece to fit in here. I'm not going to be able to see it. So I need to create a handle, and I do that with a Post-it note. So I'm just going to tear off part of a Post-it note. So here's the sticky. I'm going to grab that and then always drive it in so the stamp side is up so that I could see that if I went too far. And then this is a little wider than that track, but you can see that's how it looks from that side. And I'm just going to center it as best I can. Any way I do it is going to be better than I could do it with my scissors. And I got really close with that one. And you know, this, remember, this is all personal preference. You do you. Well, that's kind of a trick there. All right, so that is that. I'll set this down here rather than walk all the way back over there. Keep that handy because you just never know. Now, the cake, I'm determined that's a cake. Oh my gosh, I don't even especially like cake. What's up with that? So I already have this on my Stamparatus. So I need use that as my, so I'm going to ink up my stamp here, and just trying to think how you all can see that. So I've already lined it up. I've already stamped it down. You've seen me do this a lot of times. So, and I am going to, over the next several weeks, create some technique videos that'll be in the playlist section. So this is one of the techniques that I'll share over there as well. So I'm gonna put this in here, and I need my Memento Black. I'm just going to ink this up. Oh, got ink on my thumb, so I'm sure to try and transfer that somewhere soon. Just try and get it off. And I don't know, I'm going to do it one more time. I think my little stars could be a little darker. And the magnet may be preventing it from making a good strong contact. That is that. You can just leave this in here, and I can clean that up later. I'd better put this back over here, or I won't know where it is in a few moments. All right, I'm going to color this with Stampin' Balloons. We'll put our fresh freesia back. Grab our fresh freesia blends. Let me put this right there so you can see. And I did a little bit of blending on this, just leaving it a little lighter in the center. And I'll set that there. And then I'm just going to kind of come around and blend that in, and then make pretty much just a single pass in the center. You can see that light space there. Now, this is the trickiest part for me, is keeping up with which stripe is next. And honestly, the easiest way for me to keep up and not to stay in my lane is to do them one at a time. It's not necessary that you do that, but and if you're very good with coloring, you can probably hold both of these in your hand and swap them out. I don't know that I'm that good, so I am just doing them like this. And then I actually turned this piece upside down, and I'm going to make this look like it is fresh freesia with white polka dots. And I turned it upside down just so I've got a bigger surface area. I'm not holding on to the same little section that I'm trying to color. And then but I brought it back down because I'm going to add a little bit of the dark on the left side of each of these polka dots. And I don't know that that's going to add enough to amount to anything, but oops. Nonetheless, I've done it that way. And now, just like I did with the other one, I'm going to come in and blend it. Now remember, your blends are alcohol based, so you need to work pretty quickly in order for them to blend and not leave sharp lines. And I know sometimes those lines are pretty cool looking. So there are times that you intentionally let the one color dry before you add another color. One of those times is when adding curls to hair. You might have seen me do that when coloring something to resemble hazel. And there we go. Now we're ready to assemble this card. And it should go pretty quickly. if I can keep my hair out. Let me get, oh, there it goes. All right, so we're gonna just adhere these pieces together. And using that liquid glue, I should have time to move this around a little bit to get it lined up evenly, or evenly enough. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. So let's talk about some of the things that are happening this week. So I am designing for the December classes this week and publishing them just as quickly as I can. Depends a little bit on how much Hattie needs me. Nolan is sick. He's had a trip to the doctor this morning, and just, you know, hopefully he doesn't have RSV, but that is the test that they ran. He's kind of wheezy, and so I'm going to take them lunch as soon as I finish this. But anyway, so I am designing for December, and one of the products that I needed for my classes ran out already. So I'm going to be pretty limited in my supply for my Santa Express class. I'm sorry, that's just it is what it is. The retirement list, I will publish that on the 1st. We're going to have more items in the clearance rack on the 1st. Let's see. Oh, I'm forgetting something. I knew I would. I should have made a list. I like to make lists. I told you to let me know if you needed a catalog. Most of the classes for December are either not going to include a stamp set, not include stamping, or include a stamp set for you. And that is because our time is limited in December. I know that. You know that. And I still want you to feel like you can be creative. So those announcements will be made, should be made this week. You know, life happens. We all know that. But know that I'm working hard behind the scenes to do as much as I can. All right, now this can get a little tricky. I'm going to pop up the layer, but I don't want my little flags to be popped up. So I'm going to use my grid paper and a ruler to figure out where I want these pieces. And yep, that looks about right. Okay. I might come down just a little bit. There's no reason to be as fussy as I'm being. I want that right there. And then we'll put this one over here. Grid paper is such a marvelous thing. And then we're going to put this on dimensionals. And the idea is that those flagged pieces line up pretty close to even. And another way to do this would be to put this part down and then glue your pieces in, you know, tuck them in. All right, there is card number 1. Super cute. Hello, Linda. I was in Florida not so long ago. It was lovely. I think I could live there. I don't know that any of my family is ready to take off there, but all right, card number 2 is this sweet little welcome, and we are, all right, I got my pieces because I've already cut my pieces, although I've lost my vanilla, and I have 2 pieces of DSP. That's interesting. Okay, so this vanilla is going to come on the inside. This smoky slate is going to go here, but not until we've got the other pieces down. Oh, we have 2 pieces because one was the wrong length. And we're going to glue this down. So Linda texted me earlier and said that she had gotten her new catalog and she was in trouble. And girl, I am right there with you. I've looked at it a few different times, and yeah, I am in love. I pretty much want everything from the first page to 23, and then quite a bit else. Okay, so I forgot. I've left off my vanilla somewhere, so lost that somewhere in the transition. I can just die cut another one. Now I made these the same size, so you've got a pretty good border for the inside of your card. Now remember that you can like, comment, share this video. If you want the supplies to make these cards for yourself, then you just place an order in my online store, and the details for that will be going out in an email today to my newsletter list, and will be in the blog post tomorrow. Well, it'll publish later today, be out in an email tomorrow. Not sure I could make that any more confusing. I probably could if I worked at it. This ribbon is absolutely gorgeous. It is kind of a vanilla with a silver metallic edge. Oh my gosh. Now, the downside to putting that middle piece in first is that now I've got to make sure I get the top piece on right. Not too long ago, I did that totally upside down. So I sent that to my friend Diane because I knew that she would understand the struggle it is sometimes to get things right side up. No, Michelle. Okay. Let's put that on the smoky slate layer. Like so. And actually, my ribbon was meant to go around the smoky slate layer, so we're just gonna move it to there, and we'll pull it out from behind here. I have glue all over my hands now. That's okay. Nothing wrong with ink and glue on your hands. So that might indicate a pretty good day. I did not have anything to stamp with on our trip to Florida. I took my computer and I did a tiny bit of marketing work while we were there, but no stamping. Okay. Oh my gosh. I should have never mentioned anything about a struggle because now everything is a little off, or I'm struggling with all of it. Okay, let's see if I can get that off of my hands, sorta. And I have an envelope with some extra pieces. Do I have? Just looking to see if I'm going to need to die cut or not. Hello, Alice. So where in Indiana are you? Are you like down near Louisville or up near Chicago? Somewhere in between? Linda is in Florida and she is a good bit south, enjoying some lovely warm temperatures. It's pretty mild here today. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate the love. Okay, now let's figure out. I'm sure I don't have another vanilla piece in there. And what I might have done with the extras I had. Okay, I've got an extra smoky slate, but I don't have an extra vanilla. All right, we're going to cut that real fast. I didn't think I was going to show you that today, but it appears that I am. Oh my gosh. You're vanilla, but you're the wrong. Okay. Finally, got a piece of vanilla that will work. And I'm going to get this out. Hello, Joyce. Logansport. Okay, I got to look up and see where that is in relation to the places that I know in Indiana. I have some relatives that lived in Brown County. And I used to love to go visit them. Nothing is where I need it to be. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Oh my gosh. North of Indianapolis and south of Chicago. Okay, I know where that is. And you're probably having a little cool temperatures. Oh, fantastic, Linda. That is a great thing. I am working on some ideas for December, and I'm donating some cards for my church to send to the veterans home that we support. And I need to have those done next week. Okay. Whew. I'm sweating. Are y'all sweating? It's just me, huh? All right. So we need the welcome. This is kind of a cool font, isn't it? I think it's kind of cool. And then we need, well, we're just going to get them out one at a time. And I think I stamped these in gray granite, which is kind of interesting since I used a smoky slate background. I think either will work just fine. And guys, you don't have to use a die cut for this. You could easily just trim out what you want with your trimmer. Kara's, oh, that's fantastic. No, but Kara is not in Florida, although I think Diane is just headed to Florida now, isn't she? I will stuck that in the ink pad to clean it. That's a little scary. All right, here are the little feet. Oh, my head's not getting in the way. And we'll put those about right there. And then we need the little one. Here we go. Oh, it's a tiny one. Let's put it there. These tiny, tiny stamps. And just put it like so. So I could absolutely use this for Jane, my son-in-law's sister is expecting a baby just in the next week or so. All right, we're gonna put this on dimensionals if I can figure out what I did with them. Honestly, people, I'm a little nervous about my brain today. I think I'm flustered because I'm a little worried about Nolan and, oh, and this is gonna need some bling. But I can't remember what it is I wanted to use for the bling, so, and I don't have any bling in the photos I've already taken because I forgot about it then too. You know, a lot of times I make these cards and then I wait and add the bling, but this actually needs a little something, so bear with me a second while I try to figure out what it is. Fine sparkle adhesive badges. All right, let's see if I have any in my little stash back here, because it's a name I didn't recognize. I may not have any. Sparkle. Oh my gosh. Well, there we go. I do have some. That is part of the Gnome Suite. Oh, I've just messed up that drawer badly. So I probably have some open down here. There we go. Okay. We'll add some bling. Now, I don't include the embellishments with orders of $35, between $35 and $50. I do include an embellishment for an embellishment pack for the larger tier. Did that make sense? I don't know that it did. So if you place your order and it's $35, it'll qualify for the class kit, so you get the supplies to make the cards, but you would need to add the embellishments. Now, you saw what was in the kit. I showed that first thing. So you would get the ribbon. You just wouldn't get this little piece of bling. However, there'll be a supply list, so you could order anything that you need. Or if you just bump up your order to $50, then I'll include these gems with your kit. I'm just gonna put that there. Okay, all right, that is card number 2. Moving on to card number 3, which I think might be my favorite. I don't know, I really like them all. All right. Okay, in my defense, it was black and it was on something dark. I'm gonna stick with that. All right, I've already done my die cutting here, and most of this card is actually die cutting. There's not so much stamping. We're going to stamp the welcome in black. And we need to stamp our little cat. I'm going to clean this. So you could use the Stamparatus for this, and you might want to, but I gotta tell you, I nailed it when I stamped my sample, so I'm going to see if I can do it again. Okay, looks like I've got somebody who's trolling us. Okay, the challenge, I'm going to scoot way over here so that I get a little contrast to help me see, and hopefully I'm not in the camera. But I think that's pretty darn good for, you know, that's the nice thing about the photopolymer stamps, is that you can do that positioning quite a bit. And let's just put these little pieces together. Okay, don't need more than a little dot of glue for this. And then I'm just going to bring it about there. And this little guy, we're going to see if I can pick it up, add a little glue, see how good I am. Oh, there we go. And then we'll add the other pieces. I do want this kind of in the center, so we'll count 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow, that was, I couldn't do that again if I tried. But I want to hold it while I poke out the little part of the hanger. And I'm just going to put a little dot, oh, big dot there, dang. And then I can put a little bit on the ends. And we're going to cover up the part of that end with the sign. And I pulled out those trees from the Mountain Air bundle, and they're too big. We're going to cut them down to, that does not look centered. I think that's centered well enough. And then let's put this little guy up. And we're gonna pretty well stick to that centering down here. So 3 and 3. And that just goes to show you how non-centered this is up here. So somebody has to change. Wow. Leaving it. We're just going to pretend it could hang that straight, being that off. We'll put the cat on it. Down here in the corner. And I need to poke some of these little guys out. And actually, before I put my trees on, I'm going to put my number plate on. The wind is blowing. There you go. I like the way you think. Oh, my little vacuum cleaner is going to have a big time with all these little green dots, huh? Now, what numbers shall we use? Oh, I have an 8 and a 1. And a phone call coming in. Oh, okay. I have an 8 and a 1. Here's the 1 and here's the 8. I had fun trying to remember the addresses of my grandparents, and the 504 that I used in my sample. I think that was our street, our address number in Michigan. I don't know. That could be wrong, but I think the only people that could disprove that aren't going to see it, so I'm going to stick with it. It might have actually been 501. I don't even know. But I'm pretty sure my grandparents lived at 81. when forever, until my grandfather died. And put that there. And then we'll put this tree. I'll trim it off after I get it in place. And then we'll poke out this side. So I'm curious, when you craft, are you making multiples of a card? And if so, do you go ahead and cut out the pieces that you need for all of them? Do you make a sample first? And then as you get ready for your Christmas cards, is each one different, or are there multiples? I got a lot of questions today, don't I? It's just to see if you're paying attention. All right. Now we'll take our little scissors, and that one doesn't act like it has enough glue on it. I might not have just let it set long enough. But turn it over, trim it off from the bottom. Sweep that to the trash can. There's my card base. So the brick and mortar embossing folder got quite a bit of use today. Still like the wind is blowing the sign. So I thought about putting my parents' apartment number on this and sending it to them. There are a few problems with that. Number one, they have more digits than I could fit on the little sign, and I'd have to find something other than the cat to use at the door. I really liked the place that they're in, so I asked my dad if I could move back home and move where they are, and he said yeah. And I said, well, okay, well what about Robin the dog? And he said, yeah, Robin can come, but no cats. Now he loves our cats, but so actually I should send it to him, because that's just funny, because he really does love the cats. He just pretends he doesn't. And you might have seen on my post Monday where I shared that if you have somebody that doesn't want to smile, being kind of cantankerous about it, if you yell poop, they laugh, they smile. My dad is proof, and I spent a good bit of the week telling him that he was a 3-year-old laughing at poop. Right? All right, those are the 3 cards from today. You have until Friday night to place your order at my online store and receive the class kit for free. You get the supplies to make 2 of each of these 3 cards. Of course, the other 2 cards that I shared are on the blog from Monday and Tuesday, those posts. Next week, well, I seem to have forgotten what I'm featuring next week, but I can tell you in December, Card Club, if you subscribe between now and the 20th, Card Club is, going to feature Snowman Magic, as long as supplies are available. And there will be another class that features the fitting florets. And these are available. The bundle is actually going to be in the new mini catalog, but the framed and festive stamp, so this stamp and this paper is available while supplies last. So don't wait. This is an amazing set. I've done a lot with it. And then we're going to feature this paper and this bundle in the bonus class next month. In addition to a few other classes that I have, I want to keep you busy. And a few of them are going to have no stamping, and some of them are going to include a stamp set with them. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here next Tuesday for another class to go. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.